Good afternoon, one and all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And the people in the sky. That's a flyover from the Air National Guard in Barnes Airport, courtesy General George Keefe of Northampton. It's a great pleasure to be here. I'm Ron Hall. For decades, I did the news on WHMP in Northampton. And with me is...
Hi, I'm Catherine Shepherdson from ABC 40 in Springfield, and I'm really excited to be here with all you guys today.
And allow me to mention that Catherine lives right here in Northampton, so she feels... And in fact, we worked together in Northampton for several years on WHMP. Did you get your start in the business right here?
That's right, and this man right here, everybody, Ron Hall, taught me everything I know, and I'm so excited to be back with him here in Northampton.
Well, I'm sure you've learned a lot since then. We're watching the parade come down Main Street now. This is the 350th anniversary of the city of Northampton, the whole year. The lead cruiser is going to be occupied by Lieutenant Brian Rust and Sergeant Al St. Ange of the Northampton Police Department. And let's get in a plug for them right now because Captain Mike Wall confirmed earlier today that Northampton Police are one of the few departments in the state of Massachusetts to earn full accreditation. That happened a year or two ago. So congratulations to them. That means they know what they're doing.
Also, you're going to see behind them the VFW Post 8006 out of Florence, the Honorary Color Guard, as well as the Massachusetts State Police Color Detail and the mobile units.
Who better to lead the parade? Who better to lead the parade than Northampton Police? Hello, Lieutenant, and hello, Sergeant, and then the colors of the United States of America. Well, the weather's cooperating so far, knock on wood. How do you do, the state police? You have a new superintendent in Boston.
And coming our way, straight overhead, the American Legion Waltham, Massachusetts band, presented by Fink and Harris Insurance.
Founded in 1948, now under the direction of Larry Gilbo. Over the past 5 decades, this band has traveled throughout the United States, giving concerts, marching in parades, celebrating the 45th anniversary of the World War II armistice in England, celebrating the 50th anniversary of the armistice, and celebrating the 350th birthday of Northampton.
again, that was the American Legion Band out of Waltham, Massachusetts. Up ahead in the distance, coming our way, a variety of Massachusetts state officials, including the Hampshire Sheriff's Association. They'll be bringing along a Hampshire County Council of Governments float along with them. You can see that in the distance. This is the Hampshire County Council of Governments float. The theme this year is the Hampshire Council of Governments electricity program, that being power to the people. You can see them right there with their yellow balloons attached. Riders Carla Stephenson, Eileen Stewart, Joseph Kearns, William Barnett, Edward Fleury, Penny Geis, Joseph Stahl, and Martin Merrill.
The Hampshire Council of Governments with yellow balloons on their float. A lot of county officials, Eileen Stewart and others.
Passing through the Red Cross. Give it up for the Red Cross, their float displaying a country-like setting within the peaceful setting of a road sign, pointing to the various cities and towns that the Red Cross services here in the Pioneer Valley. The fish in the pond area displaying services that the Red Cross provides, the backdrop of that float displaying the Red Cross symbol, encouraging viewers to support and or become a volunteer for the Red Cross. Passing through as well the Red Cross ambulance.
A siren heralding her honor, Mary Claire Higgins of Northampton. Past mayors of Northampton. Past mayors including David Musanti. He made the trip just for the occasion.
Mayor Ford.
Oh yes, and Dave Kramer and Mary Ford. Okay, here are these city officials that have been elected by you. Councilors Jim Dostal, Marianne Labarge, Ray Labarge, Rita Blyman, Marilyn Richards, Alex Gieslin, President Michael Bardsley, Paul Spector. Those are the city councilors. City treasurer is George Zimmerman, and the new city clerk in Northampton is Wendy Mazza.
Moving in right now is the Heart of the Valley Barbershop Chorus Float. Sweet Adelines International. Harmonize the World is the description. Barbershop music, of course, all over the world. 32,000 members. Also promoting young women in harmony, teaching and scholarships for musical education.
And since they're not singing at this very moment, we should tell you that just in front of that group is the 350th Anniversary Committee, which has worked so hard. Dave Stevens, Kim Howes, Kay Sheehan, Joanne Hoyt, Susan Well, and others.
Well, here we are, Ron, in familiar territory. There's Dennis Lee, Jim Campbell. Hey, guys. WHMP.
Hello, Dennis, and hello, Jim. And the WHAI van from Greenfield.
Hi, Chris. Chris Collins.
And Nick Danger.
.9 The River following right behind. Just gonna pause and let things flow for a minute.
Well, we've just seen a group named the Peters Corps Queens Loyal Rangers. We don't think they probably came from England, but they might have. And next is the Massachusetts Volunteer Regiment Civil War reenactors with fifes and drums, and we'll be hearing from them, presented by Fleet Bank.
Right on cue.
We heard from them. The unit is a reenactment of the original regiment from Florence. The men and women march in parades, take part in Civil War programs throughout the East Coast, including Gettysburg. The unit was one of the first to be federalized by President Abraham Lincoln and was involved in most of the key battles. The 9th Massachusetts Light Battery float is there as well. With the Union and Confederate soldiers, a typical encampment was an 1846 howitzer capable of firing a 12-pound shot over half a mile. And we wonder if they'll do it today.
Well, Ron, so far the weather seems to have cooperated, which is certainly good news. I know there were some concerns for members of the organizing committee, and
yes,
so far things seem pretty good.
And ourselves too, Catherine. It might be because this bench that's in front of us may be wood, and we knocked on that wood and hoped that the rain would hold off. Catherine, what thoughts do you have on this significant day in the life of Northampton?
Well, I have had the opportunity over the past few weeks to explore a little bit about Northampton's history, and in fact, what impressed me the most were some photos I recently saw at Forbes Library that showed the different anniversaries throughout the years. Obviously, each 50 years, a big major parade taking place in Northampton, and it's really nice to see the community coming together as they have in years past and as they are doing today, and all of the spirit that has surrounded the city of Northampton.
Well, that answers our question. They fired that howitzer. That's the 9th Massachusetts Light Battery of Union and Confederate soldiers. It's an actual wedding, Catherine, and ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, we're about to witness a wedding. Agnieszka Lizik is being married to Christopher Valenta. They both live in East Hampton. Justice of the Peace Tina Swift of Amherst is doing the honors. The best man is Jason Clark. The maid of honor is Melissa Taylor. And guess why they're getting married here today? We just found out. The bride is employed at Hotel Northampton. The hotel said, why don't you get married at the parade? And we'll throw the reception at the hotel. That's what's happening.
That's them getting out of the car now.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah.
I can't think of a better place to get married than here in the city of Northampton. And in front of thousands of people, nonetheless.
Exactly right.
Beautiful bride and groom exchanging their vows at this time with the Justice of the Peace.
And it's not raining on the parade, and it's not raining on their wedding. It's really wonderful because Comcast is recording this coverage of the parade and also recording their wedding for showing many times over the next few months during this, the 350th anniversary year of the founding of Northampton, Massachusetts, USA.
Preceding them, you heard some music that was brought to us by the Festival Band here in Western Massachusetts, which was presented by the Hotel Northampton, the band under the direction of Pat Rondinelli of Agawam. They are more commonly known as the American Legion Band. Their concerts are attended by thousands of people each year. We happened to see them prior to this wedding ceremony here, the Festival Band of Western Mass.
Catherine Shepardson, seeing this wedding here at the parade reminds me of someone else who had a very visible wedding in the downtown area in recent years.
That's right. That's right. My
Was
husband John and I got married here in Northampton at the Calvin Theater back in October of 2000.
And
Sealed with a kiss. That's what we like to say.
a kiss sealed the vow. and you were very visible as well because it was on the marquee of the Calvin.
Yes, they did. They did put it on the marquee. The Carpenter wedding outside. Everyone thought, hey, is Karen
John Carpenter and Catherine Shepard.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was pretty neat to see that on the marquee. Pretty neat. But this is really exciting, too, to have a wedding before thousands here, commemorating the 350th anniversary of the city of Northampton. Congratulations to them.
American Legion Band in Northampton. But they're supposed to be in Division D, so scratch it from the top.
There they go. Tears of emotion as well. People around us, in fact, recounting, listening in on the ceremony, what he said and she said, and talking about the emotion of this moment. It's nice to see.
Congratulations to bride and groom, Agnieszka Lizik and Christopher Valletta, both of East Hampton, as they leave in an antique car after having been married at this huge parade in the center of Northampton.
Passing by now is the Northampton St. Patrick's Association float. Members of the group, give a big round of applause. We just saw members of the St. Patrick's Association walk by. Now the St. Patrick's Association will be presenting their float. What a coincidence that the parade is on D-Day.
D-Day veterans John Tananis, Bill Willard, and Richard Powers are there. They're still here. This float, a historical reenactment of the Allied invasion of Normandy, France. The soldiers riding on the float, as well as the lead marchers, all members of the B-307th Airborne Engineers Living History Group. Today, the 60th anniversary of the Normandy invasion. The Company G 104th 49ers are followed by Pearl Harbor veterans who were serving on December 7th, 1941.
General Keefe.
Is he writing? Major General George Keefe of Northampton, the Adjutant General of the Massachusetts National Guard. What an awesome responsibility General Keefe must feel these days.
You're listening to the Massachusetts Air National Guard Band of the Northeast. Conductor Master Sergeant William Drury.
Activated in October 1941, the band is attached to the Massachusetts State Headquarters in Milford, Massachusetts. The band performs an average of 40 engagements per year, including parades, summer park concerts, formal evening concerts, and, of course, military ceremonies. Marching in front of the band, as you just saw, Northampton's own Major General George Keefe.
And how fitting to hear the song of the Air Force. Off we go into the wild blue yonder.
Group of Korean War veterans passing by.
Veterans of the Korean conflict. Don't forget them.
Jim, can you see? I can't see some of these groups passing by.
The beautiful brass bell you see floating down the street is from the USS Northampton. Veterans Agent Bob Cahalan had a part in that.
Yeah, 2086, Lawrence VFW.
It's not 8006?
Oh, yeah, excuse me, 8006.
VFW Post 8006, Florence, Massachusetts.
They got a nice float.
This is their float right behind.
Beautiful float.
One of the largest veterans organizations in the area, the VFW Post in Florence, on a float provided by Carol's Towing Service. Good job, VFW, honoring all our veterans.
Point Quahog Diggers Fife and Drum Corps of New England, presented by the Florence VFW Post 8006, the DAV 92.
This is the band that entertained the crowd along Main Street today. They're proud to say that they are passionate about the art of fife and drum, but they're not trying to take themselves too seriously. That's what they say. Laughter always being a part of their performance. West Hampton Congregational Church.
This replica was made for Northampton's anniversary parade in 1954. A group of women under the guidance of Harold Watts worked at the Hampshire County Center for several months to make this church in exact proportion to the actual church. West Hampton Blacksmith Museum. How corn was ground from start to finish. That's how it was done.
Ears of corn they're throwing out, Ron.
They're throwing corn out now. And West Hampton town officials Carl Norris, Jim Houston, Brian Mulvihill, and the 1931 Model A Ford with Frank Munson.
Inside the Ford, members of the West Hampton Selectmen. And coming just down the street now, the Worthington Post Office float. The Worthington Post Office, the description of this float being past, present, and future. Riders Pete Packard, retired postmaster, Lisa Turner, a current postmaster, Mandy Caputo, a postal clerk, and Kayla and Clara Thatcher are Mandy's daughters.
The Albany Police Pipes and Drums Band are presented by the Mirage Licensing, established in 1984. The intent of the group is to establish a traditional Celtic pride band. Today, the band is one of the largest in the Northeast. The director is Peter Lonsberry.
I love the bagpipes, don't you? Yeah.
Welcome, Albany, New York, Pipes and Drums.
Are they coming down now? Yeah. And coming down the path, Chesterfield town officials and representatives, Selectman Roger Fuller, David Kielsen, and Robert Ricos.
Ronnie!
The 1929 Models A drivers, George and Ruth Wade, followed by a Healy truck moving through.
Wow, Catherine, that predates me. The Model A Ford with a rare style Briggs body. The car was owned by Wallace LeDuc, a Chesterfield selectman who used this sedan as a school bus to travel through the winter snowdrifts. It was restored by John Cranston of Ashfield, Massachusetts.
And in fact, Ron, the Healy truck, which is just in the distance here, that's the 1942 Chevy four-wheel drive dump truck used by the U.S. Army while building the Alcan Highway during World War II. It was purchased in 1946 by S.A. Healy's and Sons in West Chesterfield. For 40 years, it hauled lumber, gravel, even plowing snow. It was restored by Glenn Donovan of Chesterfield. Pretty good to get through New England winters with something like that, huh?
Absolutely. With summer ahead, it's easy to say now. Welcome Chesterfield Town Float. It's a large one. It's a colorful one. It's a historic one. Welcome Chesterfield.
Chesterfield is representing the early days, if you will, the grist mill, the corn sheller, apple press, shaving horse grinding stone, the one-room schoolhouse, and who can forget the outhouse? Important to add to that float as well.
Riders on that float included Kathy and Jim Brisbois, Becky and Jeremy Brisbois, Marianne and Bill Coleman, Andrea Coleman, Nancy Hughes, Jack and Nick Hughes, Gilman Smith, and Teresa Kezaz. The only person missing, Senator Charles Bisbee, long-time and well-known Chesterfield resident.
The Guiding Star Clog Dancers, English folk dance, the Guiding Star Clog Chorus.
That's an English folk dance. They do it like that in Northampton, England.
Highlanders Snowmobile Club.
I don't see it.
The Goshen Highlanders Snowmobile Club. Give them a round of applause.
You're looking at vintage and new snowmobiles. We got some trees and fake snow. Club grooming sled. We don't want to think about winter just yet, do we, Ron? We're looking forward to some summer months, even
That's
though it feels
right,
more
Catherine. That's right.
like fall today. But number of folks represented on that float.
Pretty sure that's fake snow.
Pretty sure, right? Pretty sure.
Okay.
And the convertible. Goshen Select. They're out of order.
Welcome Goshen Selectmen. Down Route 9 from Goshen. Thank you.
No problem. That's a DAR club.
Daughters of the American
Yeah.
Revolution.
This is the Daughters of the American Revolution float.
Welcome, Daughters of the American Revolution, passing by with their float.
Betty Allen chapter.
This is the Betty Allen chapter, colonial scene.
And since this is an historic organization, let's tell you who's riding on that float. Mary Lou Curtis, Tracy Polachek, Evelyn Cooper, Caroline Brandt, Joyce Gare, and Lorinda Luce.
Right after this is the North Country Line Dancers. Then there's going to be a change, which is the Amherst 4th of July Committee.
Welcome the North Country Line Dancers. This group is based in Greenfield and performs to promote line dance as fun and exercise. You can see they're having fun right there.
Actually, this group performs at a number of events, including nursing homes and charity events, as well as fairs. They look like they're having a good time up there today. Riders Pat Berchinsky, Marilyn Chapin, Judy Jackman, Allison Fink, Jerry Poirier, Jay Godzinski, Sharon Glaskis, Belinda Sargent, Liz Fournier, Harry Norwood, Nancy Rule, Debbie Demers, and Edie Karpinski, excuse me.
Welcome to Amherst from across the river, the American Legion, the VFW, and the Amherst 4th of July Committee. Amherst that always does so much to remember veterans, past and present, now in we know where.
What's that? There was a change. He did it. Here, you're going to come right up on the Red Hat Society.
Oh, okay.
This year was the Amherst 4th of July Committee with the American Legion 148th and the VFW 754. Yes, he did.
Okay.
So now this is just part of that same
Not
contingent.
one flag, but two flags on the Amherst July 4th Parade Committee.
Members of the Red Hat Society, give them a big wave. Look at those hats. Way to go, ladies. The description being fun after 50.
We've got riders Rita Cashman, Alice Munson, Beverly Cook, Pat Carr, Helen Martin, Helen O'Donnell, Alice Superba, and Mary Yarrows, members of the Red Hat Society, on board that float. They're a lot of fun.
They are. Williamsburg Police.
Town of Williamsburg, up Route 9, now led by their police cruiser, one of them, Victor Caputo and E.J. Wazkiewicz, Jim Morris, Tim Murphy, Selectman Eric Soretta, David Haskell, Christopher Morris. Welcome from Williamsburg.
Hi, David.
Beautiful.
You know, Ron, we've been lucky so far. Weather's cooperating. Thousands of people are packed in to take part in this event. And in fact, this 350th parade consists of some 6,000 marchers, 40 floats, and 30 bands. The group traveling down Route 9 from Northampton High School along Elm, Main Bridge, and finishing right here at the Three County Fair.
Haydenville Run and Gun Club floats, Donald Dextrays, Richard Benoit, and that's a float.
This Huntington, this must have been an addition that they didn't tell
Great
me
to see the
about.
kids passing in the back.
Northampton town of
Do they get any catch there? Whoa.
red, green actually. Yeah.
Thanks for coming to town of Huntington.
Band presented by couldn't catch it.
Is this it here?
Yeah, that's probably it. Yes.
Isn't this band here?
Yeah. Yes.
Colonial Navy of Massachusetts from Fall River, presented by Bank of Western Massachusetts.
Massachusetts legislation officially recognizes this unit in a bill signed by Governor Volpe. This authorized the group to wear the distinctive green and white uniforms of 1775 and to carry the official state Navy Jack the Pine Tree flag.
Big Y represented here at the parade today. Their Big Y car, the tiny bus, and of course, you need the hot rods.
section is Big Y.
We know the Big Y is set up its second supermarket right here in Northampton, right here in this city.
It's neat to see, Ron, all the different vehicles passing through here as part of the Big Y contingent, advertising the cruise night, which they do every Wednesday. Beautiful antique cars passing through.
Take it that's Trevor the Stilt Man?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be at the end of the parade.
Yeah.
He's got
You
long
can-
legs, he caught up.
Yeah, you never tell about him. He put on a great act for us.
Talking about
amazing.
Trevor the Stilt Man
I
here,
love him.
making his way through the crowd. Towering over, if you will, huh?
Trevor the Stilt.
Trevor the Stilt Man.
Yeah.
Is this still Big Y?
No, the Saturday night.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to and watching the 350th anniversary parade on, coincidentally, D-Day 2004 through the center of the city of Northampton. Many thousands are lining the streets, many colors and joyous spirits are very obvious here. And here comes the Fife and Drum Corps now. We'll check our notes and see if this is the Ancient Mariners Fife and Drum Corps, presented by Northampton Cooperative Bank.
Welcome the Ancient Mariners Fife and Drum Corps of Connecticut.
Group portrays the common sailor of 1812 and the War of 1812. To its credits, America's Cup in Gaspé Day Halls in Rhode Island, Operation Sail in Newport, We the People Parade, national television, a passing review of two United States presidents, Ronald Reagan, who died yesterday, and George Bush.
That's all Cooley Dickinson here, Cooley Dickinson up here too.
Cooley Dickinson babies. Hi, Flo.
Welcome members of Cooley Dickinson Hospital. The Cooley Babies, as they're known.
That must be the uniform at Cooley Dickinson Hospital. Looking good.
I don't see
and
the
the
Poodle
stork.
Club, I don't think the Poodle Club.
The stork who brings the babies to Cooley Dickinson Hospital.
Ron, can you pose for a minute, Ron?
Oh, yeah. Northampton Veterinary Association.
Hi, John.
Massachusetts Junior Miss winner.
Northampton Veterinary Association just passing by and coming our way, the Massachusetts Junior Miss.
Florence Civic and Business Association passing by. Up in the distance, you may see the Florence Community Band. The band is under the direction of Priscilla Ross of Florence. This group has only been performing together for 4 years, but have become a great hit throughout the country, playing in most local parades and bringing back that wonderful village tradition on the Sunday afternoon lawns. Again, the Florence Community Band up in the distance. Watching the Florence Civic and Business Association float now passing by. Patriotic float decorated in red, white, and blue. Also decorated with fresh flowers and greens. They're members of the Florence Civic and Businesses Association riding on the float.
This is the Florence Community Band, presented by Florence Civic and Business Association.
The band is under the direction of Priscilla Ross of Florence. Doing a great job, Priscilla. Following behind, Florence Civic and Business Association float. Give them a big wave. Big round of applause. Hi, guys.
A patriotic float decorated in red, white, and blue with fresh flowers and greens. Members of Florence Civic and Business riding on the floats, along with the Florence Civic and Business Association.
We're having our picture taken.
Is that the Jackson Street School? It is.
Hello, Jackson Street!
Wow, that's a lot to look at.
Northampton Education Foundation.
Members of the Northampton Education Foundation.
Where would we be without the Northampton Education Foundation, a private organization that raises money to supplement municipal and school budgets and every other source of revenue that can be found?
Took me 2 hours to find this truck. Can you imagine not being able to find
This
that?
massive truck that's rolling down the way are members of the West River Wildcats from Brattleboro, Vermont.
The West River Wildcats of Brattleboro, Vermont. Welcome to Northampton.
No, they were right there, but nobody went over to ask.
They're presented by Larry and Debbie Costello, and the name really speaks for itself. It's great Dixieland music to set the mood. Therefore, everyone can enjoy these great group of folks.
Brattleboro got lost for a few minutes. Glad we found you. Oh, wow. Now we have a lot of antique automobiles.
2 years apart.
History of the automobile.
It's 100 years of cars, like 1904 and up like that every other year is best that they could do it.
You're in for a real treat. 100 years of cars. A trip down memory lane as we celebrate this 350th anniversary.
Some of the cars we're watching,
Ralph Healy organized this particular
1905 Didion Buten, 1911 Maxwell, 1912 Rio, 1915 Model T Ford, 1926 Hopmobile, a Model A Ford from 28, a Pierce Arrow from 31, 1941 Mercury. Aha, it's getting into modern times. 2004 Prius, the start of the hybrid autos with gasoline electric power. Wouldn't mind having one of them, Catherine.
Oh, God, no. Do you know I drive an 88 Buick, so this is, well, hey, I don't know. We might be a little competition.
I'd like to thank Ralph Healy for providing us with 100 years of cars.
Pierce Arrow.
Pierce Arrow.
Yes, as you watch these beauties, which one would you pick to take home to your garage?
Certainly plenty to choose from. '41 Mercury passing by.
That's a cool horn on a 41 Mercury, and that's a beautiful blue. Why don't they make a blue like that now?
As we look through some of the automobiles of the years, highlighting some of the autos appearing with lots of chrome and bright colors, large airplane-like fins as well. They are some beautiful cars. We'll be rolling into era of the 1960s, the era of the large horsepower muscle cars, and then we'll wrap it up eventually when we get to the Prius.
And they look to be in mint condition as well, with flags occasionally flying from those antique automobiles. 100 years of the car.
Hey, Ron, you want to go for a ride? What do you think?
Well, sure, as soon as the parade's over.
Pretty neat stuff.
The Gazette's Charles Abel getting some of his great shots there
Yes, he
at the
is.
reviewing stand.
Moving up to some of the more modern time vehicles, 2003 Corvette, followed by that Prius, the start of hybrid autos with gas and electric power, becoming popular with certainly
Wow.
some of the rising gas prices these days. Goodness.
Rolls Royce. Oh, I don't know. Is that a Rolls or is that a big Jag? What's this?
Marching down Main Street now, the Holyoke Caledonian Pipe Band from Holyoke, presented by St. Michael's High School alumni. You may recall St. Michael's High School prospered in Northampton for many years, until it fell victim to budget cuts. It's no longer there. This is the oldest continuous pipe band in the United States. They entertain in parades, Highland events all over New England. The Caledonians from Holyoke.
The Holyoke Caledonian Pipe Band, Memories of St. Mike, brought to you by the St. Michael's High School.
Welcome, St. Michael's High School. You will be remembered long. Memories of St. Mike's. The scene is a typical St. Michael's classroom in the 1950s, with a nun, the Sisters of St. Joseph, and a student in front of a blackboard. A window is located in the middle of the float, symbolizing looking back to the St. Mike's classroom of the 50s. 2 or 3 1954 graduates are sitting in front of the float, looking back through the window. The float is pulled by a bannered truck, class of 54, with 54 graduates riding in back of the truck. The riders include Dorothy Lucy, a nun, students Amanda Nix, Marilyn Jolly, Kathy Norton Sahotsky, Michael Cahalan, Kathleen Gallivan.
Here comes Rodney Kunith
And
with
others.
Valerie and that group in there.
That's Clark School. Clark School.
Clark School, yeah.
Members of Clark School for the Deaf.
Rodney Kunith in the Ford with Valerie Lavender, and I don't know who else is riding.
Welcome to Rodney Kunith, class of 1958. Rodney Kunith, a Clark School graduate. Riding in the front seats is Valerie Lavender, chair of the 350th Neighborhood Block Parties, co-chair of the 350th Neighborhood Committee. She's also the steering committee secretary. She's been involved in planning celebration events for 3 years, including the fabulous 350th kickoff event at the Academy of Music, a film showing Northampton's tercentenary celebration in 1954. Welcome, Valerie Lavender, and good work.
Nice contingent from Clark School.
Nice flow for Clark School.
A nice contingent from Clark School depicting a turn-of-the-century classroom. The Clark School float celebrating teaching deaf children to listen and talk since 1867. Clark School being proud to be a vital part of Northampton for 137 years. Clark School alumni will be marching behind the float as well.
You know who that is? Clark School for the Deaf's float.
Teaching children to speak since 1867, Clark School for the Deaf in Northampton.
Diane Dostal on the float.
Diane Dostal on the float.
Demon Fife and Drum Corps.
William Demon Fife and Drum Corps, Lexington, Massachusetts, presented by Kathy Cross.
This marching unit is from Lexington, Massachusetts, under the direction of Carmen Calabrese, musical director of Fine Fife and Drum Band. And the Boy Scouts are on their way.
Mark LaValle's got a nice truck there, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the Boy Scouts of America, troop number 103 of Florence. Hey guys.
This must be fun, the Boy Scouts. They look pretty good.
It's a camping scene at Camp Father Friel, Troop 103. 79 years of service to the youth of Northampton, 159 Eagle Scouts, members of Troop 103, Annunciation Church of Florence. Welcome to Troop 103 of Florence.
Celebrating 80 years of service. Good for them. It's great. Sponsor of the Annunciation Church of Florence today.
Catherine sounds a little bit like Mardi Gras.
Holyoke Medical Center. I don't see the Colleen.
Welcome to Holyoke Medical Center.
It says with the Colleen. I don't see it.
Holyoke Community College.
Thanks. Thank you.
Catherine, we just received some very interesting news from former Mayor Mary Ford that the reason the mayor of Northampton, England, could not make the trip as had been hoped for some months is that he is in Normandy today, participating in the D-Day celebration, or I should say commemoration there. And she also mentioned that two other former mayors were in the line of march. Sean Dunphy, who went on to be Chief Justice of the Massachusetts Probate and Family Court, and Ed Olander, who was a war hero himself in the early days of his life.
At this time, you're watching pass by the Hill Institute float. Welcome, Hill Institute. 12 children in period uniforms seated in the chairs facing their teacher. Maypoles to be in the center of the float. We've got 12 kindergarten students, 2 teachers, Marcy Ayers and Pat Kopka.
Let's have a big cheer for the lead school.
All righty. All right, a big cheer for the Leeds School. Leeds Elementary. History represented by this float indeed. Members of the school and students participating.
It looks like Bridge Street didn't come, but here's the Northampton class of 1954. Oh, that does say Bridge Street.
Yeah. Members of the Bridge Street School.
Bridge Street youngsters and students following the Leeds Elementary School.
Beautiful float moving our way too.
Absolutely.
An exact to the scale replica of the Calvin Coolidge Bridge with students wearing t-shirts saying Bridge Street School. Mine's under construction. 14 students on the float, 12 students walking to the side with parents. Principal Joanna McKenna on the float with the school dog Chevy.
Hello to Principal McKenna and the school dog Chevy.
All right, pull out your yearbooks. Northampton High School class of 1954. That's great. In the distance, we've been seeing this big fire shooting out of this float coming down the way. And
Yeah, it's a little scary at times.
Last march together, they were in blue gowns.
It reminds me of the pyrotechnics when I attended Phantom of the Opera on Broadway.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yes, we were in the balcony and you could feel the heat from way on stage.
Wow, a show I've always wanted to attend, hopefully someday. But boy, this
Sure.
looks pretty neat on this float moving through.
It's still there.
The class of 1954 float. The red, white, and blue. 16 alumni taking part today.
Can it be 50 years? Camp High 54? All of you. Wow. Gee, I hope there's not a balloon to go up there, isn't there?
Up and away. It's Pioneer Valley Balloons.
Keep that going, blow that heat.
Yeah, we enjoy the heat. I had the opportunity, in fact, to go up in one of the Pioneer Valley balloons. Beautiful if you have a chance to see the valley in a way that you've never seen it before. It's incredible.
Dick Justo took me up on a tethered flight, but I'll bet you weren't
Did he?
tethered, were you?
No. No.
Well, I'm glad you came back safely.
Yeah, so am I. It's a really great opportunity. Well, just to set the scene for folks at home, of course, we're at the 350th parade, consisting of some 6,000 marchers, 40 floats, 30 bands. You're seeing the procession come down here, down Route 9. They're heading their way from Northampton High School, stretching along Elm and Main and Bridge Street, and they're going to be finishing at the Three-County Fair. The city, as you know, has been celebrating festivities all year long, and this is really the pinnacle weekend. Activities have been going on all weekend long with this parade. A lot of hype around it, but the 350 events will continue throughout the year. But so far, the weather's been cooperating. We hope it will continue to do so. And nice turnout today.
We're not getting anything on the speaker on that side of the grandstand.
Okay. Coming into view and into earshot, the Joseph Furco string band known as the Mummers from Philadelphia, presented by the Florence Savings Bank. The grandeur and excitement of music and mummery at its best. Just enjoy the music of this 20-time champion Mummers Band in Northampton today. Welcome from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Mummers.
Presented by Florence Savings Bank.
Glad we held the rain off for you.
You know, Ron, no parade is complete without the Mummers. You gotta have the Mummers.
Well, we've got them today, and they're very colorful indeed, as you can see on your screen.
The Sudbury Ancient Fife and Drum Corps of Sudbury, Massachusetts, presented by Florence Paint and Decorating Center.
This marching unit is under the direction of President and Drum Sergeant Mary Punch, the Sudbury Ancient Fife and Drum Corps, all the way from Sudbury, Massachusetts, taking part in the 350th celebration here today. Proud sponsors of Florence Paint and Decorating Center.
I wonder what the difference is between a fife and a flute.
Good question, Ron.
Probably
I don't
not,
venture.
Probably not
answer.
very much, because they sound like flutes to me. And,
I'll tell you what, requires a lot of talent to take part in each. That's what I say.
Absolutely. The American flag now, and the Northampton Fire Department. Fire Department? Yes. A sharp salute from the Northampton Fire Department.
Ron, this is our new ladder.
A Northampton Fire Department ambulance, which is quite new, and a brand new aerial ladder.
That's a brand new piece of equipment, right? They just bought
Northampton
that.
Fire Department.
Yeah, they just bought it.
That's impressive, huh?
Isn't that impressive?
My God.
Beautiful.
If we had a fire at the moment, we'd be ready just as we always are.
I was up to the top of that bucket. As high as it would go.
Wow.
95 feet. Yeah.
Here?
Members of the Amherst Fire Department.
A sizable contingent from the Amherst Fire Department. Welcome to Northampton, Amherst. Won't have to call for your aerial ladder quite so much now.
You're right.
We've got our own.
Yeah, see Belchertown Fire Department right there. And Ron, from working with some of the area departments over the past years, Western Mass and their fire contingent, the police, always very helpful when it comes time to tracking down a story.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Catherine. They're always there, and they'll call you back with the information you need. And before they do that, they've efficiently performed their duties.
Yeah, they've been very, very helpful to
Wow,
the
now
media.
that's what is that, Catherine? That's a box type thing.
Chesterfield Rescue 1.
Oh, Chesterfield Rescue 1. Sure. Combination ambulance and rescue vehicle.
Chesterfield and East Hampton.
Welcome, East Hampton.
Huntington and South Hadley.
Huntington and South Hadley.
Hello to you, South Hadley.
It's the Brush 1 Goshen Fire Department.
Yeah.
Town of Goshen.
I'd like to visit the Goshen Ocean, the DAR. Beautiful community of Goshen. Happy to have them here today. Members of the fire department. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, Granby.
That's a tanker.
Yeah. Jim Dostal pointing out a tanker and a half. Tanker and a half indeed. Seems some pretty neat apparatus roll down Main Street here. And there's Hadley. Hadley, yeah.
Welcome, Hadley, over the bridge from Hadley. Led by not a frontline piece of equipment, but one of theirs. And then some yellow painted trucks from Hadley as well. So I guess their colors are red and yellow. They're yellow now. Yes, Catherine, if there were a fire today, it would get a lot of attention.
We
yes.
feel as though we're covered, definitely by all the folks represented here.
Welcome to the town of Hatfield. Welcome, Hatfield.
Hatfield contingent here in Northampton. We certainly appreciate all that they do for us.
Absolutely, Catherine. Their equipment is in fine shape today on display at the Northampton Parade. And where's this antique from? Catherine?
Well, it looks to be Whately,
Oh,
Ron.
yes, it's on the top. It's written on the top. Sure.
Welcome, Whately.
Catherine, there are these flashing fire lights as far as I can see. There are another 6 or 8 up the street, so...
They're curling right down from Smith College, wrapping right around Main Street
You
here.
could call this a fire prevention parade as well as the anniversary parade. You're in fine voice.
And here we have West Hampton passing by. Welcome, West Hampton! Worthington Fire and Rescue.
I don't know. I think we're going to have to take that in afterwards.
Welcome, Worthington.
And members of the Williamsburg Fire Department.
Members of the Williamsburg Fire Department and Auxiliary showing off a 1828 hand pumper from the Williamsburg Fire Department. You see right there, proof and positive how far we've come.
That's how they put out fires in 1928. That too before my time.
Ron, we can see in front of us here the 1881 hose wagon here from Williamsburg.
Yes. I certainly can. Painted bright red.
Members of the Ware Fire Department, welcome.
They have a great
Massachusetts Forest Fire Control District 1.
Massachusetts Forest Fire Control, welcome.
I do believe we see Smokey the Bear in the distance.
There's Smokey the Bear.
Forest Fire Control, Massachusetts Conservation and Recreation. Smokey the Bear. Flashing lights as far as the eye can see, passing through the District of
Yes,
Control,
yes.
Massachusetts Forest Fire Control, with their large truck moving through.
Looks like we're down to the forest fire contingent, but that's important too.
Absolutely. Everybody's got to work together.
I recall a year ago they had a continuing fire on Mount Holyoke for 3 weeks. I recall that in Mount Skinner State Park. Several towns were there every day.
Well, oftentimes, as you know, Ron, with mutual aid with the different towns, they'll come together and help each other out. It just shows the cooperativeness between each group and how we all have to work together, especially in these times with budget cuts.
Great teamwork.
It's great to have them here.
Well, here's a Mack truck I wouldn't want to mess with. I guess it's probably a tanker, sure enough.
Forest fire control.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we saw Smokey the Bear earlier. This looks like Sparky to me. I think it's Sparky. Part of the education campaign underway to help prevent fires. Sparky goes to some of the schools in the region.
Yes. Great flag, Cummington. Good job.
Check out this one.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
That's part of Cummington also.
Cummington Fire Department presenting the Washington Monument. Well, a replica anyway.
Ask them how they're going to get under the underpass down there. It's on a spring.
That's a good question.
Watch out, underpass.
The rumor is that it's on some type of a spring.
Was that Cummington? Was that still
The rumor-
It's on a hinge, yeah. and they
It's
drop
on a
it down.
hinge that they can actually drop down as they get to that
And they just
underpass
go-
down the street.
They did that just for this parade, to set it up like that.
Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam lives in Cummington as well.
This is the Hadley American Legion color guard. They were a late entry too.
The Hadley American Legion Color Guard. Zanta International Club.
Oh, there he is.
It is the club's intention, in fact, to present a float honoring the recipients of Zonta's Amelia Earhart Fellowship, memorializing the famed air pioneer, Northampton resident and Zontonian, Amelia Earhart. The fellowship is awarded to women studying aeronautical engineering and other earth and planetary sciences. You're seeing the A to Z pass through with their yo-yos. They actually have quite a fierce yo-yo competition. These kids can do some pretty amazing things.
A to Z Yo-Yo Team. The Oxbow Water Ski Team.
Expo always does a great job. Their ski team competitive and always thrilling to watch.
Always sounding good, the Hopkins Academy Band, which is the high school in Hadley. Ed Foreman is the director. They must have 70 or 80 marching down Main Street.
Hopkins Academy High School Marching Band presented by the Northampton Rotary.
Ed Foreman and members of the Hopkins Academy High School Marching Band now giving way to the Rotary Club float.
The Zonta Club is celebrating its 70th anniversary of service to the Northampton community. It was established in 1934 by local business and professional women dedicated to improving the status of women through projects which address issues of education, health, human rights, and economic independence.
Town of Hadley, welcome.
Their agricultural float, they've got trees and shrubs and plants. Town flag on the backdrop, pulled by the tractor. Riders of the 4-H Sparkle Club.
YMCA gymnastics team.
As if marching were not exercise enough, these kiddos are getting their exercise with aerobics and acrobatics right on Main Street in Northampton from the YMCA. Hampshire Regional, that is.
Baton twirlers, Christine Wheelock, Northampton.
All right, Ron, I would never even venture to try to do some baton twirling. I just would drop it. I know it. I just would continually. I don't know if I could have the skill that some of these girls have. They make it look so easy, don't they? You're seeing some shots of downtown on Main Street here. Main Street Cleaners, also a shot of the Main Street. Up ahead, the Middlesex County Volunteer Fife and Drum Corps, presented by People's Bank. They're rapping their way down the street. The Middlesex Volunteers Fife and Drum, established in 1982. Today they've evolved into a repertory ensemble performing martial, dance, and folk music from the 17th, 18th, and 19th century. Without question, this is the premier fife and drum corps in the state.
They just said they don't think the mics are working?
Welcome, Middlesex County Fife and Drum Corps. You're 100 miles from home.
Fife and Drum Corps presented by People's Bank.
Martial, dance, and folk music from the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries. Without question, the premier of Fife and Drum Corps in the state of Massachusetts. Middlesex County Volunteer Fife and Drum Corps.
Nice to hear them. Hatfield Selectmen rolling down the street. Also a horse-drawn carriage behind it by Sylvester's.
That's Hatfield? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
welcome Hatfield Town Government from the town of Hatfield. Oh, we have horses.
Sylvester's Restaurant.
Yeah, this is the Sylvester's Restaurant float. This horse-drawn wagon with 20 or so people sitting in the open wagon, throwing out candy to the crowds from time to time. St. Martin family on board, Bonnie Berman and family, Michael Weiss and family, Karen and Emma Silverman.
Hey, Mo!
Horse-drawn carriage bearing Hatfield residents saluting Northampton. And it's only proper.
We welcome the Sylvester's float, and we also welcome Harold's Ice Cream.
You have to come to Harold's when you come to Northampton, right, Ron?
True. Steve takes a lot of pride in his flavors. He's still working on one name for me.
Oh, is that right? All right.
I'm not sure if he's
How about
putting me
Feelin'
on-
Groovy? I think Feelin' Groovy should be the name of your ice cream flavor.
Members of the East Hampton High School Marching Band.
Stepping
Hampton High
smartly and looking just as good as Hopkins Academy. East Hampton. Oh yeah, they have quite a cheering contingent too. I guess they're keeping warm. They're
Yeah,
fast.
they have to keep moving around, the girls. They're doing a good job. Also, members of the band as well. I have to admit something too. When I used to be in the band at Westfield High School, and I always had the hardest time walking and playing the clarinet at the same time. It was kind of challenging, so I think these guys are doing pretty good. I can hear the clarinet, so I know that they're doing it. It sounds good.
Yeah, I never tried doing both at once.
Well, you got the reed, you know, it's kind of hard to position it.
Who are these people?
Well, we have
East Hampton Town officials.
East Hampton town officials here with us.
Welcome East Hampton Town Government. Oh, it's a city, excuse me. East Hampton, the city of...
See Mayor Tausnick there. I believe Senator Mike Knappich and State Representative John Sabek was in that group as well. And coming down the bend, the Lincoln Minutemen Fife and Drum Corps out of Lincoln, Massachusetts, presented by Lathrop Retirement Communities.
The fifes and drums of the Lincoln Minutemen are under the direction of drum major Donald Hafner. The town of Lincoln reestablished the company in 1966 and charged them to keep alive the history and principles of the original Minutemen of 1775.
The Lincoln Minutemen Fife and Drum Corps from Lincoln, Massachusetts. Presented by Lathrop Retirement Communities.
Very good. Hopefully I think we're over halfway through it. Green. Yes, I am. That's right. That's the East Hampton VFW float.
East Hampton VFW, grand float indeed, replete with many flags.
There's the Chamber of Commerce.
East Hampton Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, I know. It's okay. Yeah, that's why I'm here. East Hampton American Legion Motorcycle Unit. They're coming fast and furious now.
East Hampton American Legion Motorcycle Unit.
Vroom, vroom. That says Mrs. Massachusetts. Kristen Petoniak? Kristen Petoniak, Mrs. Massachusetts.
Mrs. Massachusetts, Kristen Petoniak.
She's smiling, we got the name right.
Yeah, we're working it all out. Rev up your engines, huh? Big wave.
Springfield Kilty Band presented by Hamden Savings Bank.
This band is from Springfield, home of the John Boyle O'Reilly Club. And they've performed locally for many years, the Springfield Kilty Band. Jim Martin is the director. In the distance, you're looking at the Target Drum and Bugle Corps group out of Springfield, presented by the Daily Hampshire Gazette. The Targets were reorganized in 1995 and joined the Eastern Massachusetts Drum and Bugle Corps Association in 1997. Over a 3-year span, they were crowned Class C champions in 1997 and Class B champions in 1999. So we welcome the Targets Drum and Bugle Corps.
The Daily Hampshire Gazette presents the Targets Drum and Bugle Corps.
We're ready for the rain.
I know.
It's facing the wrong direction.
Members of the Gazette ready for the rain with their umbrellas. They're smart, they're prepared. But fortunately, we haven't had to use them. At least since the parade began, at least.
Welcome the Gazette to your own town.
It's kind of neat to see in town, actually, Ron, with the news boxes they've repainted over, commemorating the 350th
Right.
For all the Gazette news boxes.
Right.
It's kind of neat to see.
Right.
Moving through his congregation,
Oh,
B'nai
there's a bright yellow
Israel.
convertible.
Here, watch that camera. I'll be back.
B'nai Israel celebrating their anniversary.
Congregation B'nai Israel.
Welcome Congregation B'nai Israel.
Smith Vocational and Agricultural High School.
Float features students from each of the vocational programs.
One of the finest schools in the state, the trades and industry and vocations.
You're looking at the landscaped forest setting just a moment ago. Running water and students demonstrating the forestry and trades. Smith Voc.
The cheers you hear are the cheerleaders from Northampton High School, followed by the band themselves. Welcome to Hamp High Band of Northampton High School.
Presented by Sluzniak Funeral Home.
This is Northampton's own high school marching band under the direction of Deb Kuhn. Northampton High School Marching Band presented by Sluzniak Funeral Home. Hey, what are they throwing out here? Are these footballs?
I don't know, but it's an old-fashioned hearse.
I want one.
That's got to be the Sluzniak Funeral Home. A horse-drawn antique hearse from the Sluzniak Funeral Home.
And the Three-County Fair.
Representing the Hampshire, Franklin, and Hamden Agricultural Society, the Agricultural in Nature group, float that is, focusing on youth, animals, flowers with entertainment for all. As you know, that fair considered the oldest continuous running fair here in the United States. Here we go with the Marksman Alumni Drum and Bugle Corps. Presented by Sluzniak Funeral Home in St. John Cantius Church.
Marksman Alumni Drum and Bugle Corps.
Playing the Marines hymn from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
A couple of nice looking
Here's
carriages
another
moving
antique
through.
hearse.
2 horse-drawn carriages moving through. And someone enjoying their food. Beautiful carriage.
These all part of St. John campus? I think this is all part of St. John campus.
Yes.
Welcome St. John Cantius Church.
St. John's is celebrating their 100th anniversary. A replica of arch and doorway to the St. John Cantius Church is at the rear of the float. A large missal decorating the front of the float with a ribbon of handmade red roses draped across one page.
An open Bible on the front of that float with the scripture, "The Lord is my shepherd." St. John Cantius Church.
That float covered with roses made by parishioners, in fact.
While we have time, we can tell you that riding on that float were 3 generations of the Kaczynski family. Kardine Kaczynski, Carol Landry, Rebecca Landry, all 3 in Polish costume.
Northampton Friends meeting Northampton Quakers.
The music you're hearing now is
There's only 3 units left, so.
Tarrytown, New York, VFW Drum and Bugle Corps, presented by Smith College. They're going to give us a treat because they're going to sing and play God Bless America.
That corps was established in 1932. It is one of the oldest yet active parade musical units within the United States. They have won several Best Overall Musical Units awards, as well as over 750 awards for music, color guard, and drum major in the past 20 years. Directors Michael Morales Sr. and Harold Hassett.
Stepping sharply from Tarrytown, New York. VFW Drum and Bugle Corps from Tarrytown, presented by Smith College. We're going to hear God Bless America. invited to sing along.
Awesome. That was great.
Thanks, Alex. Aren't they great?
All right. Everyone dancing, getting into this whole parade.
You're on over here.
Moving through the Smith College float. On the same team since 1871, so the float says.
Followed by the faculty, staff, and administration of Smith College.
I want to see that lavender lips come.
Smith College, right in your hometown of
Lavender
Northampton.
lips. It's a car.
No, that doesn't sound nice.
The largest women's college in the United States.
The gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender float.
Somewhere under the rainbow, the float is decorated in the rainbow colors, the official colors of LGBT people worldwide. The 6 horizontal bands: red for life, orange for healing, yellow for the sun, green for serenity, blue for harmony, and violet for spirits.
Guests on board the float today, Heidi Norton and Gina Smith. Norton Smith.
Yeah.
Heidi and Gina are 2 of the plaintiffs in the historic case which resulted in Massachusetts giving lesbian and gay people the right to marry. Representatives of the communities are also riding on the float, a 48-person marching unit. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender community.
Heidi and Gina Norton Smith. 48 people marching in that unit.
That's right.
That's the Northampton Peace and Justice communities.
Northampton Peace and Justice Community. We need much more of that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Could that have been this too? I don't know.
They're out of line because I think the League of Women Voters are behind there. They were supposed to be up here someplace.
Okay.
That's St. John Acadius float.
It is? St. John's Episcopal.
I'm sorry, yeah. St. John's Episcopal, sorry.
St. John's Episcopal Church in Northampton.
Beautiful float, kids blowing bubbles. Homemade signs. Peace. You're looking at the Nathan Hale Ancient Fife and Drum Corps, Coventry, Connecticut.
More fifes and drums. It's quite fitting for the occasion, the 350th birthday of the founding of the city of Northampton, which has a veterans flair today because it's also D-Day. And there were 3 D-Day veterans marching in the parade today.
The Nathan Hale Ancient Fife and Drum Corps from Coventry, Connecticut, presented by Northampton Stop and Shop.
The sugar house float you just saw is Zawalik's sugaring operation, evaporating sap in an evaporator, collecting sap. The riders were Sarah Zawalik, Joan, Kathy Zawalik, Jeff and Andrea Zawalik, Tim and Daniel Zawalik. A really family occasion. Mike, Jacob, Matthew, and Andrew Smith.
They're actually boiling syrup. I wish they'd throw some sugar candy over here.
Actually boiling syrup. Hey, you could throw some over here. A little chilly on this end.
We got the trees tapped.
Quite a detailed float.
Right out of the woods to the streets of Northampton. Sugaring operations.
Got the trees tapped and everything.
Yeah, tapping that maple syrup.
Just the Masons?
Yes.
Hampshire Lodge of Masons?
Yep.
Welcome the Hampshire Lodge of Masons.
A wagon seating 16 people, sides covered with blue felt skirting and banner, and Masonic emblems on the float. Members of the Hampshire Lodge, other Masonic lodges as well. Marchers include the Grand Master of Masons in Massachusetts and the Grand Commander of Knights Templar. In the line of march there, the Grand Master of Masons of Massachusetts and the Grand Commander of Knights Templar in Massachusetts. Welcome to Northampton.
Freemasonry in Massachusetts in 1733.
Northampton what?
In the distance, you see him coming into view, the Worcester Brass Band from Franklin, Massachusetts, presented by Northampton Plumbing Supply. This band, a marching unit and concert ensemble, was founded 12 years ago for the purpose of promoting awareness, interest, and musical education for the community. They perform at parades, indoor and outdoor concerts, charity dances, and town festivals.
The Worcester Brass Band of Franklin, Mass., presented by Northampton Plumbing Supply.
Yes.
Citizens for Climate Protection.
Citizens for Climate Protection is committed to involving citizens, businesses, and municipalities in creating a sustainable energy future for Northampton's next 350 years. They encourage a variety of things, including using more energy efficient and renewable energy, reducing landfill waste, fostering community planning.
The Moose Club disappeared. The moose is gone.
Is this Look Park?
That's Look Park's float. That's a beautiful float.
Welcome, Look Park.
Showing the Pines Theater, Ray Allabrook, Leslie Nuttleman, all of the hardworking and dedicated staff at Look Park.
Look Park, a beautiful place to visit. That float was depicting Look Park's numerous activity areas and attractions. They also have an Evero Concerts planned this year as well.
Yes, Manchester Regional Police, Fife and Mike Drum.
Manchester Regional Police and Fire, Pipes and Drums, Manchester, Connecticut. Presented by the Elks Lodge 997.
Established in 1953, they're patterned after the great Scottish military regiments, proud to continue these time-honored military traditions today.
I love the bagpipes. I love the bagpipes.
Elks, dedication to our community, honoring veteran senior citizens, sponsoring youth sports, scholarships, proudly displaying the symbol, the elk, in its colors, purple and gold. The riders are past rulers Barbara Franklin, Hap Levy, Bob Cloutier, Gerald Clark, Jennifer Zakaruski, Patrick Harrington, Christopher Savino, Greg Lamica, Mike Pulsifer.
So yeah, it says number one.
And that's the Northampton Elks Lodge. Their float just went by.
Northampton Lions Club.
I just heard that the end of the parade reached Franklin Street. There's only one division left.
Moving through the Melha Temple Military Band. See many Melha marchers. band now coming into view. This division here presented by East Hampton Savings Bank.
The Melha Temple Military Band.
They put in so many hours,
Absolutely,
members of the
Catherine.
Shriners.
The military band is followed by many elected and appointed line officers, past potentates, trustees, administrators, past masters, the chief director, director's staff, and Melha Temple Drum Corps.
We certainly appreciate all they do for us.
Well, there's an old caddy.
Nice caddy moving through, yeah.
Wow, it's the first limo, I think.
Is that a 54, 55?
Oriental band is coming up. Don't tell me we're getting to
This division presented by East Hampton Savings Bank. More Shriners moving through. And of course, coming into view, the funny cars.
Yes. Yes, I wouldn't mind riding one of those myself.
You know, I wouldn't either. Maybe someday, Ron, huh? Maybe next time we'll be on one of these. What do you think?
Well, we have just a moment. We want to update you that in the line of march today were 5 former mayors of Northampton, in addition to the present mayor, Claire Higgins. They were Mary Ford, David Mezandy, Dave Kramer, Sean Dunphy, and Ed Olander.
Melha Shriners are moving in their little cars down the way, moving in formation. See some of the other Melha vehicles moving into place. There we go. Check them out, going round and round Main Street.
We also want to tell you that if you missed the wedding on today's program, then stay tuned for another day at another hour, and Comcast will be repeating the wedding of Agnieszka Lizik and Christopher Valenta of East Hampton by Justice of the Peace Tina Swift of Amherst. The best man was Jason Clark, the maid of honor Melissa Taylor. The bride chose this scenario, this venue for her wedding, since the hotel where she works, Hotel Northampton, said if she did it, they'd give her a reception, and that's what happened.
Well, we've got all sorts of different groups here today. Everybody loves the Shriners. Everybody loves a clown. Chumming it up for the audience. Bubbles in the mist. A lot of fun as we watch the parade route wrap down Main Street.
And I wouldn't want to tell you how many times I've been in touch by phone with people like Jim Dostal, Valerie Lavender, Mike Flynn, and Catherine Shepperson in anticipating this real honor to be asked to be the co-announcer along with Catherine for the parade. And who's going by right now? This is the Oriental Band from the Melha Shrine.
You know, the city's ongoing birthday festivities are really reaching their pinnacle this weekend. But of course, this 350th committee has been planning all year long for a variety of events going on across the city. I had the opportunity to go to Smith College, see some of their exhibits there. Different groups taking part in the 350th in many different ways. And today, just to give you an idea, we have some 6,000 marchers, 40 floats, and more than 30 bands.
And participants came from 7 states, and we had about many thousands of people here on the line of march. Don't know how many. We'll find out.
Some nice vehicles zooming through. Some Model Ts throughout this parade. Some vintage autos.
Incidentally, I can't help but notice that the hard work that longtime director of Northampton Community Television, Jeff Zomick, and his staff, his volunteer staff, I might add, have done in presenting this today. And Jeff will be repeating it a number of times.
He's helped make our job very easy.
Northampton
Thanks,
High School
Jeff.
Media was of invaluable support to this production.
A lot of the kids that are manning the cameras
Oh,
are from the school, so we appreciate them as well.
There's an airplane that came down from the skies.
Well, we did see some planes overhead earlier. I think they were
Yes.
F-14s, I believe, or A-10s.
The flyover has come to the ground.
I know we did see a helicopter too earlier.
That's all part of the Shriners too.
Oh.
What do they call themselves?
The Shriners contingent continues to move through with the Melhoff Flyers.
Just call them Flyers. Melhoff Flyers.
Yeah, the Melhoff Flyers.
Welcome to Melhoff Flyers, complete with airplane down from the skies.
Helicopter.
Oh, and a helicopter. Helicopter looked like it might be taking off any moment. Yeah. As Jim Dostal says, that one works.
I love these guys. They're so neat. See, Ron, look, if we could get in one of these vehicles, we could go down one of those ramps. How fun would that be? There's no comment from Ron Hall, the voice of Northampton is Mom. You know I'm giving you a hard time, Ron.
Well, I'm actually mesmerized by those little vehicles up there. I'm glad I'm up here.
Parade wouldn't be complete without him.
Car that's cut in half, and it's like two cars driving side by side, except it's only one car. It's the beginning and the end of a car. Yes. There's going to be leaping Lena too. I don't know. That's not listed.
Whoa! Get some good air on there too. They're all rolling up into formation, side by side by side. As the ramp rolls in, you can see them lining up.
Oh, wow.
Hey, all right.
I wouldn't attempt to describe that, viewers. Watch your screens. Would you like to be a Shriner, it says.
Wow. Got a lot of response from the crowd here today.
And they're back. Wow.
I've had the opportunity to work with members of the Shriners for my job, and it's amazing all of the volunteer efforts that they put in and the fundraising they do and the educational awareness. And again, you can see by the the number of folks that have come out here today, again donating their time, and it's really great to have them here as part of the 350th celebration of Northampton.
The Melhat Temple go-cars. Up and over, as they say.
No, that's coming right at the end.
And then
What's this? That's Leaping Lena from Hatfield. You ever remember that? It's like a truck. It stands up on the end. They spin it around, throw hammer bombs down, they shoot. It's crazy. That's why they put it at the end. Leaping Lena. Look at that. You remember me? I still am involved. We were out 26 years involved in the area. No.
The Melhat Shriners.
After all this, he probably shut his mic off.
Oh, I'm back. An old neighbor of mine from Florence, Bob Bates, retired psychologist from the VA Medical Center, had to say hello, and I'm glad he did.
Well, it's certainly a pleasure being part of this today.
Oh, absolutely, Catherine, and I'm happy that it's no cooler and no more rainy than it was. It just is good. Actually, when it gets too warm, it's bad to march in very
True,
warm weather.
very true. All right, doing a nice wheelie down Main Street.
Wow. Wow.
As Jim Dostal says, you don't do that too often on Main Street. Yeah, it's true.
These guys in the yellow t-shirts, they can like once we put this
somebody to come.
Boy, then they owe a big debt of gratitude to Mike, I'll tell you that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 350th Parade Committee.
These are the folks that have spent hours and hours making this come to life today. Under the direction of Mike Flynn, the Parade Coordination Committee has been working hard. We have Carol Flynn, Richard Green, James Kandradas, Ralph Healy, Matt Superba, Peter Kostek, Pat Diggins, Kim Howes, Ron Frost, Bill Hogan, Amy Hogan, Mike Kalane, Bob Kalane, Charles Lepswich, Phyllis Wolf, John Tenane, Stu Estes, Fran Whalen, Len Forhawks, Malaya Rhodes, Jack Horner, Jim Ryan, Brenda Ryan, Peter Gagney, Chris Gagney, Larry Costello, Karen Fennessy, Norm Roy, John Kingsley, John Christensen, Brian Hennessy, Barbara Wurtzel, Donna Karen, Michael Berry, Norm Roy, Chris Garrick, Terry Flynn, and of course Michael Flynn. We're at the end, Mr. Ron Hall.
We have the pleasure of talking to two former mayors of Northampton, and actually, I'm not sure how many interviews you grant, Sean, but because you're in a visible position. What is that right now?
I'm presently serving as the Chief Justice of the Probate and Family Courts in Massachusetts.
Is that a challenging position right now?
Yes, it is. Managing the courts around the state in each county and 51 judges.
Can you tell us your impressions of this anniversary celebration that we've all been a part of today?
This has been a wonderful day and it's a wonderful year, but the committee has worked so hard and I think they've done a wonderful job, and it's so good to see all the people that have come out today and see people that I've known over the years and get to see them again.
Well, I feel the same way, Sean, because I live down your way now myself.
Right.
So it's a pleasure, and please say hello to your family.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron. Great to see you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for being a part of this celebration as we bring in another interview.
That was Sean Dunphy, and now we have the pleasure of talking with David Musandi. David, you were on the reviewing stand.
Hello.
What are your thoughts right now?
I think it's a fantastic parade. I remember the 300th. I just come back from the service, and it was a fantastic parade, and I think this one equals that one. It was great.
What branch of service were you in?
I was in the Air Force.
Was that during wartime?
Yeah, well, during the Korean thing.
Conflict. Sure.
Can you talk a little bit about some of your special memories of Northampton and the emotions it conjures up for you?
Oh, this is a great city, and the 12 years I was mayor represent the most special part in my life, work life anyway. It was fantastic, and this city doesn't change. I get back once a year, and the main street looks the same, and the people, Look Park, it's just a great, great place.
And be sure to thank your good wife, Janet McNeil, for finding you just now, because we were looking for you for a minute.
Oh yes, yeah, she's here somewhere and told me not to leave.
And from what I understand, this is not only celebrating the 350th anniversary, but your son actually got married yesterday, right?
Yes, my son David was married yesterday afternoon. It was kind of a wild day with the convocation starting, the wedding in the afternoon, and 3 balls last night, and today the parade. But we're still going strong.
And where is it off to when you leave Northampton? Are you still in California?
We're still in Fullerton, California. We've been out there now for 3 years. It's a great place, but there's nothing like being home.
Well, now, cheers to the DPW. They're already sweeping the streets. It hasn't been over 3 minutes.
Well, you know, in the old days, Bill Nagle would be out here with his whole crew, but today they're doing it with machinery. That's great.
Mr. Mayor, thanks for your time. You were mayor for 12 years?
12 years, yeah. Good seeing you, Ron. Good seeing you. You bet.
Thanks.
Standing over your shoulder is Ralph Levy.
Hi, how are you?
What'd you think? Did you have a lot of fun?
Hey, this is like a reunion of oldsters or youngsters, oldsters here from HMP, right?
Yes, it's like the good old
We were all
days.
together there for quite a while, and
Think of the parade.
I enjoyed the parade. It was a little longer than I expected, and some of the spaces were out, but there was some great stuff in it.
Absolutely.
But we're
I figured
fortunate.
I better go to this one because I don't think I'll make the next one 50 years from now.
I'm sure you will. And of course, you'll make the big alumni reunion at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, are you going to that?
I hope so.
Good.
That's
That's,
late June.
2 weeks from today.
Sure.
We're fortunate that the weather cooperated. Was there
Yeah.
anything in particular that really stuck out to you in this parade, Ralph?
Well, I always like the Shriner.
Me
'cause
too.
they're so much fun.
I want to ride in one of those cars. How about
Yeah.
you?
I'd love to, but I wouldn't know how to drive them.
We'll have
But
to get a
I think
lesson.
the other thing is that there's so many different communities that got together and helped and sponsored things, and all the merchants who sponsored floats and these various bands, and
A lot of work.
they
by
had a
the,
lot of different kinds of bands, and there were some really nice floats.
Ralph,
you
we
know,
want to
so that
thank you
was
for
good.
your observations, and I guess we have to wrap up this telecast now, but you'll be seeing yourself now on cable in Northampton.
Oh, are they going to put it on local cable?
Absolutely.
Good.
Well,
Probably a number of times.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Ralph. Thanks
nice
so
to
much.
See you.
Nice to see you. And as Ralph mentioned, you know, this is a big, huge event here in Northampton. A number of events have been going on all year long as part of the 350th celebration. So there are many more exciting things to come, and we certainly thank you for being a part of it.
Ralph is a retired Northampton High School teacher and was for many years a staff aide to Bill Nagel when he was in the House. And his successor, Peter Kokot, cut a mean figure as he marched down Main Street today.
Well, Ron, as we wrap things up, I'd just like to say how much I enjoy working with you, the voice of Northampton, and it's great to be together once again.
The voice is still alive. Well, Catherine, you look as beautiful as ever, and it's been real great working with you again, because we did that for several years at 15 Hampton Avenue at WHMP. Glad they asked you, as they did me.
So am I. So at this point, we thank you for being a part of this broadcast. And as Ron mentioned, you'll see it several times on the cable channel. But for now, from the 350th anniversary, for Ron Hall, I'm Catherine Shepherdson. Have a great day.